Hi, everybody, and welcome back for another edition of our daily Litter Media Live. If you have something you have to get done before the end of January, you better hurry, because today is January 29th, and
are there 30 or 31 days?
Friday is the last day.
So there's 31 days.
Yes, and we start all over in February, of course, on Saturday. Groundhog Day is Sunday.
And we start all over again. And again and,
and
again and
again. You like that movie?
I've never seen it.
Oh, please. That movie is it's not only funny, but it's deep.
That's one of the ones that I've been meaning to watch for years and years and years, and I've just never gotten around to it.
I've heard comments or read comments that every major religion in the world has commented on this movie of how it's significant to what they believe. So it's really fun to take a look at that and see. Yeah, I can see where they're coming from on that. So anyway,
maybe I'll watch it Sunday.
Yeah, would be good. The Bill Murray, he's great. He is just absolutely fantastic in that movie. Our weather forecast, sunshine today and tomorrow during the daytime hours tomorrow, and then you're going to start seeing some cloudy skies moving in late, and in the overnight hours there's a chance of some showers Thursday night, but we're definitely looking at rain as a strong possibility at some point during the day on Friday and Saturday. Highs in the low to mid-40s today and Thursday, 52 on Friday, back down into the 40s expected on for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So that is your weather forecast. I'm enjoying watching the snow go away.
Yes, it's very nice.
It stayed relatively warm last night because as I was looking out at my backyard before I went to bed, there was still, not a lot, but there was still a covering of snow. And this morning in the backyard where I was looking, it's gone. Now, not all the snow is gone yet.
Right.
But I predict that the rain will get the last vestiges of it.
Let's hope so.
Probably for the week.
Get it out of here.
Yes, sir. And we've got a story coming up during our topics that talk about making sure that your gutters are free of ice. All that's coming up here on Litter Media Live. Accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing. I noticed that the story that I was just referring to, that the folks of Accurate shared that story yesterday because some of what they do might have some impact on that.
It's got some relevancy.
Yes, sir. I like that word, relevancy. That's a word that's been stuck in my head for the last year, relevancy. Heating, cooling, and plumbing, that's their business, whether it's commercial or residential. Give Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing a call today.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Haynes Settle Healthcare Center is celebrating 50 years of serving the chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs of the community. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on littermedia.com, and it will take you right to their website to learn more. And speaking of littermedia.com, we hope you bookmark this page, and you can keep tabs on what's going on in your community, see all the local news, the good news, the beneficial news that you can use. And it has a link to all of our social media pages right there in the upper right-hand corner. As you can see, our X page, our Facebook page, YouTube, Spotify, and Litter Media Radio.
Well stated, young man. Well stated. And that story right there is what got me out of my chair last night at about 7 o'clock. Pickaway County Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Krista Bower has resigned, according to Board of Directors President Jessica Calder. In a press release, Calder said to ensure the smooth continuation of their day-to-day operations, the board has engaged a contractor with experience in chamber operations to assist during this transition period. The partnership will allow them to maintain stability and continue serving their members effectively while they prepare to launch a formal search for a new executive director. But we've had Jessica down on this program once. I think Dan and I went up and interviewed her at her office on the campus of Ohio Christian University one time, and nice lady, and we wish her well in whatever her new endeavor will be. More details about a story that we told you about yesterday concerning the name change for the Child Protection Center of Ross County. The Child Advocacy Center has formally announced that it has changed its name to the Garden Family Advocacy Center. The new name reflects the Child Advocacy Center's view that a multidisciplinary approach rooted in the standards of the National Children's Alliance is key to reducing the trauma of abuse, fostering resilience, and promoting the well-being of children, families, and communities. And if you're watching us on Facebook, that image is their new logo. We have Executive Director Rhiannon Gill. She's scheduled to be with us, I think, in the month of February. So be watching for promotion about her interview coming up, where she can talk more about that as well as other things the center is doing.
Pike County is celebrating their 210th anniversary tomorrow at the Pike County Government Center lobby from noon to 2 p.m. All Pike County residents are invited for free refreshments. I didn't know Pike County was this old.
Yeah. I wonder if Dan Ramey is going to be on display.
Maybe.
During
a statue of Dan Ramey will be unveiled.
Yeah. Well, at least they've got free refreshments. Dan probably will check that out just for the
yeah.
He's like me. If it's free, it's me. So we'll see if we can pry Dan down to Waverly for that event tomorrow. This Saturday is Take Your Child to the Library Day. Bring your family to the Chillicothe Ross Main Library to discover new books, go on a library scavenger hunt, and enjoy coloring on some fun coloring sheets. Learn more at takeyourchildtothelibrary.org.
You know, speaking of coloring, last night when I went up to speak to Dan and BJ in the broadcast booth, they had a cooler that had some water bottles in it. They had pizza that was back there. And they also had pieces of paper and colored pencils. So I said, were you guys drawing before the game? And I don't know what was going on there, but they were keeping themselves entertained.
The last time I did a game there, they had all the food. They were making chicken and noodles that night too. I passed on that because I had dinner just before it came. But I didn't get a coloring book, so I'll have to ask about why that didn't happen.
A bike path construction project has been made concerning stream bed stabilization behind the greenhouse at Ohio University Lancaster. The work will be done on February 3rd and 4th. The bike path will be affected and closed for 50 to 60 feet along this area. However, there will be access before and after the site for pedestrian bike usage.
Ohio Department of Commerce reminding homeowners that as temperatures rise and fall during the winter months, snow and ice can melt and refreeze during the edges of rooftops, resulting in an ice dam. And if you're watching our Facebook live, or if you're watching it later on YouTube, for those on the radio, you can't see this, but there's a picture of a house here with ice hanging off of the gutters. That's what we're talking about. You got to make sure your house does not look like this, because when that snow on top of the roof melts, it has nowhere to go. And you say, well, it'll just drip over the side. It doesn't work that way. It'll get up under your roof, and you will have a mess. So if you're not able to get up there, make sure you get some kind of a professional that can tend to that so you don't have a lot of damage in your home.
If you work for one of the fantastic schools in Ross County and are wondering how to celebrate Developmental Disabilities Month in March, here's your chance. Sign up early for story time with an advocate or email Lacey or call 773-8044 to get more information about Spirit Week themes for Developmental Disabilities Month, which is coming up in March this year.
Yeah, and just give them a call out at Pioneer Center or the DD office, and they can get you taken care of if you'd like to volunteer for some of those things.
And that email is in this image as well if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube.
All righty. Those are your topics for today. We've got some sports. You were out at an event yesterday that you'll tell us about here in just a bit on sports for Litter Media Live. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, the big orange dumpsters are sitting, waiting for someone to rent them out. It's coming up, folks. Spring cleanup time out on the property, whether you're on a farm or your home. Maybe you're a home fixer-upper and you need someplace to take that junk. Give Carl a call at 253-8389 for a free estimate.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Mike Smith and Aaron Glandon back with you on Litter Media Live. And Aaron was at an event yesterday, and he'll tell you about it. Not wrestling, it's wrestling.
There was some wrestling going on yesterday during school hours, no less, at Chillicothe High School. But this was a middle school meet between Chillicothe and Logan. I spoke to head coach Dustin Arland, and he said the school was willing to work with us. We were able to put this on in front of a lot of kids that wouldn't normally come to a wrestling meet. And his goal was for the kids to come out there and say, oh, well, I want to do that. That looks fun. I can do that. And he hopes that they can do this same thing at the high school level in the future and put on more of these events.
I saw a story that CBS did a few years back. Inner city schools, they have terrible attendance at like even high school boys basketball games at night. So they started playing some games during the school hours, and it was a hit. I mean, they had, of course, the gym was packed because that's what the kids were doing instead of being in a classroom.
Right, yeah.
But it got some of the kids interested enough to not only want to participate as players, but also fans. So this is a neat idea that maybe some other schools
and they had someone on a spotlight up there shining the light down onto the wrestlers, and let me tell you, it was loud in there. Really loud.
Now, did he say they played Logan? Did they say they would return the favor to Logan at some point?
He did say Logan's AD wanted to do this and that they would help him out along that way.
Very good. Also last night, Litter Media Radio was out at Western High School for their rematch with Eastern, their big rival. The first time they played, it came down to a last-second shot. Eastern won by 2. Last night, it came down to a shot with 13 seconds to go.
Oh, yeah.
And Eastern won it 57-56. If you go to our website, storylittermedia.com, you can find not only the story of the game, but Dan Ramey and B.J. Daly's play-by-play call and photos that Aaron took. Also a photo gallery of the games. Photos last night. Other winners in the SOC last night include Sims Valley, South Webster, Notre Dame, and Greene. A couple of SVC makeup games for the boys last night. Zane Trace beat Westfall, and that win for Zane Trace puts them into a scenario when they host Unioto on Friday night. The winner of that game will clinch at least a share of the championship. I thought they had conference games going through the 14th, but from what I was seeing last night, February 7th is the last conference night. Huntington in a makeup game beat Adena last night by 11. Mid-State League, Circleville won, Fairfield Union won. I have Circleville hosting Fairfield Union tomorrow night on Litter Media Radio. Fisher Catholic, Fairfield Christian were all winners. A ton of non-conference games. Miami Trace stays undefeated. Watterson beat Taze Valley. Waverly in a close one, losing to Eastern Brown by 2. Valley over Paint Valley. Jackson beat Unioto, one of a few non-conference losses that Unioto's had this year in boys basketball. Hillsborough was a winner. You can go to our Litter Media score page and find all of those games and some girls' action last night as well. Now, that was last night's games. We told you about where we're going to be tomorrow night. Circleville hosting Fairfield Union boys. And then for a piece of the SVC Championship Friday night boys action, Unioto at Zane Trace.
And yesterday there was some men's MAC action in college basketball. Toledo 86, Ohio Bobcats 83. So this sounds like yet another game that came down to the wire, but maybe didn't end up like a lot of us hoped that it would. And the Cavs will be in Florida tonight playing the Miami Heat.
That Bobcats game was on ESPN. Last night I was watching a little bit of that. For all the years that we've gone down there and broadcast games at the Convocation Center, it's kind of interesting to watch the college game because at the high school games, they never have the seating pulled out on the court level. It's just up in the bowl.
Right.
But for the college games, they have the seats pulled out, so it's kind of interesting to see people sitting that close to the floor at the Convo, where they haven't done that for many, many years. When we come back, we're going to take you back to 1936, this date in history. Something about the history of baseball. All ahead on Litter Media Live.
First, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane, online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank. Find out more at litterpropane.com.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary.
Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Back with a look at this date in history. We take you back to 1936. The U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame elects its first members in Cooperstown, New York. Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Christy Matheson, and Walter Johnson.
Were they inducted in that order?
Well, those were all the guys together. In fact, I couldn't find a picture, but I've seen it before, where they're all sitting in chairs together. which is kind of neat because Babe hadn't been out of baseball but I think a couple of years when this happened.
Yeah.
Which now I think you have to be out 3 years. So if he was only out for like a year and a half or two, that wasn't the rule at that particular time. At that time. But a little backstory here that makes this kind of interesting. The Hall of Fame actually had its beginnings the year before when plans were made to build a museum devoted to baseball and its 100-year history. Wait a minute, you say, Major League Baseball didn't start until 1869. Well, but the game started before that. A private organization based in Cooperstown called the Clark Foundation thought that establishing the Baseball Hall of Fame in their city would help to reinvigorate the area's depression-ravaged economy by attracting tourists. To help sell the idea, and this is where it gets fun, the foundation advanced the idea that U.S. Civil War hero Abner Doubleday invented baseball in Cooperstown. Well, the story proved to be phony. But baseball officials, eager to capitalize on the marketing and publicity potential of a museum to honor the game's greats, gave their support to the project anyway. I've been there.
A lot of people still believe that.
Yeah.
That Abner Doubleday invented baseball in Cooperstown.
Yeah, he did not. I've been to the Hall of Fame. Went there in 1968 with my family. Well, my parents took me. At that time, they had a kind of like a countdown clock of the players that were chasing Babe Ruth's record of 714 career home runs. Can you imagine in 1968 who was second on the list at that time? And this person, by the way, never broke Babe Ruth's record.
Was it Ted Williams? Hank Aaron?
You would think it'd be Hank Aaron because Hank eventually caught and was the first to break the record.
Then I don't know.
How about a guy named Willie Mays? Willie Mays was actually in second place at that time, but then, of course, Hammer and Hank surpassed Willie Mays and was the first to break the record. And then you had the cheater, what's his name? Played for the Giants and the Pirates. His dad played with the Giants. They're going nuts out there in the crowd. Traffic Light Sports helped me out there. But I've also seen the grave of Abner Doubleday. It's in Arlington Cemetery.
Really?
Because, again,
Civil War hero.
Yeah, he was indeed a Civil War hero. But he's not known for that mostly.
Yeah.
He's known for this fake claim that he started baseball.
Was he alive when they claimed that?
No, he was, I believe he was, well, this would have been 1936, 35 and 36.
So if he was alive, he would have been old.
Yeah, Abner was, he was gone.
So they said this old man, well, this man who's no longer with us, he invented baseball. They were just making it up and putting on someone who couldn't refute it.
I don't know, I guess. But they thought, I think he was from that part of New York State. And they thought, well, he's a well-known general. We probably shouldn't use U.S. Grant because everybody knows where he was.
Right. Yeah.
So they threw Abner in there, and he had nothing to do with starting baseball.
It's like saying Abraham Lincoln killed vampires.
Yeah, I saw there was a movie about that.
It's a fun movie.
Oh, golly. Barry Bonds. I didn't see Traffic Light post that anywhere, but Traffic Light Sports up in Asheville, he's always watching every day. But I didn't see any comments, but it just popped into me. Barry Bonds eventually. I think they still count his record. I don't think they put an asterisk beside him because he allegedly took steroids to help his.
But Barry Bonds was a lot more recent, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. More so than Hammer and Hank.
And a lot of that's based on the way the ball's changed over the years. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes in some decades, the ball was easier to hit and easier to make it go farther than in other decades.
In fact, even when Babe Ruth came along, excuse me, they juiced the ball then. Right. I mean, it wasn't like well, you're too young to remember this. There was a toy back when I was a kid called a Super Ball. You could bounce that thing, and it would go it would just like disappear.
Is that what you used back behind the dairy cone?
No, we used paper cups. We'd wad up paper cups and hit them over on top of the Simmons furniture store. Yeah, some great memories there. That's going to cover it for our daily program. Dan Ramey, who's on assignment again today, he'll be back with us tomorrow for our daily show. We also have a special edition interview tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Ohio Representative Mark Johnson of Chillicothe will be with us, along with his wife, Kelly, who's involved in government work, has been on the federal and state level as well. They'll be joining us for a special edition at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, then our daily show at 11. Until that time, for Dan Ramey and Aaron Glandon, this is Mike Smith saying so long from all of us at Litter Media Live and Litter Media Radio.